Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have something from Under Armour on my desk. I gotta say, I've been waiting for this boot for quite some time. So let's open up the box, because today I have quite a big box. Under Armour. Yes. Stellat G2. The Generation 2, the new model of the very popular Under Armour Stellat tactical boot. Now let me take one out of the box and we will get into the review, because this is going to be interesting. I know a lot of you guys waited for this review, and quite honestly I've been quite curious myself, because Under Armour, they somehow know what they're doing. I'm saying somehow because they're an athletic brand. All right, they're not really, they don't really have much tactical combat stuff, but whenever it comes to boots, they know what they're doing. They have valve sets, very good. They have jungle, I think, or tack load, or whatever it is called. Excellent boot as well. But my two favorite were always Stellat and Valsats. Now Valsats recently released a brand new boot, Micro G. So now this is the newer model of the Stellat. Okay, overall I have to say I am very impressed with these. I especially recommend getting the model with the side zip, just to make sure it's easier to get in and out. Currently it is $66 on Amazon. The link is in the description below. The reviews are already growing on Amazon. They're getting more and more popular. Honestly, I'm not surprised. But let's get into the main review, so that, because I know you guys are waiting. Alright, as some of you already know, this is not just a regular boot review. This review specifically for my Ultimate Survival boots section. Yes, basically if something bad happened, and yes, this is the boot that you were wearing, and you had to survive. You had to run, you had to climb, you had to fight, do all of the things that are necessary for survival. Would this be good for your survival? How do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin. Criteria number 1, of course, comfort level. Yes, and in order to test the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that I review on this channel, you guys already know, I do a 3-mile run, and then I do a 5-mile walk, non-stop, no pause in between, 8 miles total covered, and then I continue wearing the boots for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is about 8 hours. Like I said in the beginning, I do like the comfort level of these boots quite a lot. There are a few factors that contribute to the comfort level. The first one would be the weight, and this is size 10. Obviously, as you can see, full size shaft. Let's see how light or heavy size 10 is. Let's check this out. 18.2. Wow, 18.2. I have to say that is very impressive. I was expecting a little bit more weight. Honestly, I was expecting probably just over 20. 18.2 is very impressive, considering this is the full size boot. I mean, you have the full protection. This is not just, one of those shafts that has, just material. No, the whole shaft is padded, so not only it gives you protection, it's also very comfortable. But we will talk about the padding later. Very impressive weight, 18.2. all right, moving on further, we have the flexibility of the outsole, and check this out. The outsole is quite bulky, but it still does have pretty good flexibility. The creasing here is not bad. The only thing that I wanted to mention here doesn't really have to do anything with comfort, just has to do with looks, if you're curious. As you can see, this creasing spot right here, this is my demo model that I'm not running in. This is the clean model that I show you for the purposes of this video. But you already see from just playing around with it a little bit, it leaves the crease on the top. So yeah, this will stop looking as good as it looks new after a few wears. Honestly, to me that's not a big deal, but something for you to keep in mind. All right, moving on further, let's get into the inner sole, and let me see if I can take it out so that I can show you. Inner sole, nothing crazy over here. Very basic inner sole for the most part. Pretty flat, no arch support, no heel bed, but there's plenty amount of cushioning, which is extra helpful whenever you're running. Pretty good. Once you remove the inner sole, it goes straight into the harder midsole, so keep that in mind. But plenty of cushioning in the inner sole. Alright, let's talk about the cushioning in general. In the tongue we have the padding. Like I said, the whole shaft, which is very impressive, is very nicely padded. And throughout the whole boot, going through pretty much all the way to this very front, that ending at the toe box, that's where the padding ends. So it's important to get them in the right size, obviously, just like any other boot that you buy. But for the most part, it's very nice, very comfortable, very nicely padded. Excellent job, Under Armour. Did not let anybody down. Okay, so let's move on to the criteria number 2 now, proofing and protection. So this particular model is not waterproof. I have not seen yet the waterproof model, but I'm pretty sure they will come out with one. As you can see, the tongue is gusseted, but it is gusseted quite low, so it's probably about 3 inches lower than the total length of the shaft. In the non-waterproof version, it's not a big deal, but I hope that when they do release the waterproof version, unless they already released the waterproof version and it's just not available on Amazon yet, I hope that the gusseting goes higher up just to utilize the whole length of the shaft. But with the gusseting, you still have some, water-resistant qualities. So some people might prefer that over the full waterproofing because, as you guys know, with the full waterproofing, you usually compromise on some breathability and you do add a little bit of, quite a little bit of the weight. Now, let's talk about the protection. Obviously, you have kind of a reinforced, not steel toe, nothing like that, but you do have a reinforced toe box over here, and obviously you have plenty of protection in the shaft with all the padding. That's definitely helpful. And of course your heel is reinforced as well, and as you can see, the outsole is so bulky, that so big, so thick, that you have plenty of protection from the outsole as well. But let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, quality wise, like I said, there's plenty of reviews already on Amazon, over 100 reviews and almost 5 stars. So very impressive reviews so far. And quality wise, Under Armour, honestly, I never had any kind of problems with them. Reviewed plenty of their stuff, so their quality control overall is pretty good. Now, whenever it comes to the design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system. Here, lacing system is very straightforward, very thin, round strings, which I don't mind too much, especially because there is a side zip. Like I said, side zip is you probably do want to have a side zip just to make it much easier to get in and out of the boot, because it's, full size boot. Makes sense, right? But I do understand why Under Armour implemented these. They wanted to save weight. The hooks are all basically the fabric hooks, very simplistic, and again designed to save on the weight. Alright, let's move on to another very important one. Criteria number 4, outsole, traction and stability. Okay, so yes, as with the previous version of the Stellar, Under Armour implemented the slip resistant outsole, and it does a very good job. I have to say, on flat shiny surfaces it does an excellent job. Now, whenever I do my runs and my walk, I do it on a variety of different surfaces. Regular concrete, tarmac, like asphalt, whatever, sand, dry sand, wet sand, dry grass, wet grass, some rocky road, trail surface, and flat shiny surfaces. This performs pretty much great on everything except slippery stuff like wet grass. That's where you might encounter some problems, because as you can see, overall it is more on the flatter side. It's pretty flat. Now, with that flatness, of course, you do get a pretty good, support and traction on sandy surfaces. Performs excellent on sandy surfaces because there's really nothing for the sand to get stuck in. So they don't become slippery, they don't become heavy. That's a great feature. So overall, I would say if you're getting these, if you're interested, if you're in law enforcement, in service, you need it for your military training or stuff like that. Sandy surfaces, excellent. Indoor stuff, you know, marble, you know, flat shiny surfaces, tile, whatever, excellent. And really anything, I mean, any kind of urban situations, you're gonna appreciate this, no problems at all. I would not recommend if you are doing security jobs, for example, outdoors, like here in Florida, in the morning or in the evening, where you have to walk, patrol around wet grass. That's where you may find yourself a little bit out of balance, a little bit slippery. Not a big deal, not too bad, I would say, but not ideal, all right, not fantastic. And also I wanted to point out, check these out, check these ridges out right here. I absolutely love these. Makes it easier for climbing the rope, or just rappelling down. This is just excellent. Under Armour, wouldn't expect something like that from an athletic brand, right? Yeah, they know what they're doing. Somebody who's in charge of designing the stuff, they definitely they've been around the block. All right, so let's move on to the criteria number 5 now, temperature. Really quickly, obviously this is not a winter boot, there is no insulation, there's no waterproofing either, but at the same time, can you get away in some colder winter temperatures? Yeah, absolutely, with some thicker socks, wool socks, some merino wool, and you will do, for the most part, just fine. Just don't get into like snow or something wet where you can, you know, get your feet wet. But most importantly, for hot temperatures, very nice, very breathable, which is honestly surprising for a full-size boot and the amount of padding. And I think this padding kind of contributes to that ventilation as well. So as a 3-season boot and possibly mild winters, yeah, definitely you can use these. All right, let's move on to the criteria number 6 really quickly, the sizing. No problems with the sizing at all. They do run true to the size. The toe box overall is on the wider fit, so if you prefer boots that fit you a little bit wider, you know, and not like a narrower, tighter fit, you definitely gonna appreciate these. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 7 now, balance of application. So if this really was your ultimate survival boot, would this be good? Honestly, if you see yourself wearing good quality, comfortable, reliable, tactical, military combat style boot, I think you might be interested in this. You might be appreciated. If you are not, you know, very particular on having a waterproof boot, this is it. This is it right here. It's very good. I mean, compared to a lot of big brand popular stuff, something that you go to specifically for tactical boots, I'm not gonna say, well, you know what, why not say it? Bates, stuff from 511, stuff from, you know, Danair. There are a lot of brands out there, and they're good. They have some really good stuff, but you wouldn't expect a brand like Under Armour being able to compete with those brands. And I think a lot of people might be pleasantly surprised and see how well Under Armour actually done on this one. So if you're that type of person, I think you're definitely gonna appreciate this one. The only thing I'm saying in this review, that one recommendation I could give you is just make sure you get that side zip, because without the side zip, you're gonna spend like 2 hours trying to put this on and then 2 hours trying to take them off. But let's move on to the very last criterion here. Criterion number 8, the price. Like I said in the beginning of this review, $66 currently on Amazon. The link is in the description below. I have to say, that is like mind-blowing. Why? Because this is a new boot on the market. It recently came out, and usually when new stuff comes out on the market, it's like full price and you can't get it cheaper than you know, that's it. You have to wait like 6 months or a year before you see any discounts or anything like that. Right now it is available on discount. Right now it is available on discount on Amazon, and it's impressive. For $66, there is really nothing I can think of that I can say, okay, check out that boot for the same price, check out that boot for the same price. Not really. There isn't really anything like that in that price range, as good of a quality, as overall comfort, outsole, And honestly, it looks good too. It looks pretty impressive, and usually I don't comment about the looks of the boot, but I really do like this one. If I needed a quality tactical boot, which honestly I do, I'll probably I'll probably end up keeping the pair, but this is what I would go to. Well, this one or Valsas Micro G. Now see, that was always my problem. So maybe if you guys are interested, maybe I will make the comparison between Stellat G2 and Valsas Micro G. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if you want to see that video. But let me know also, what do you think about this review? What do you think about the Stellat G2? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below and I will be happy to address them. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This is Ultimate Survival Gear. As always, appreciate your time. God bless you all. I'll see you guys in the next video.